All right, people. I am having some difficult time going live on Facebook, so what I'm going to do is basically just record the video on my phone and then just upload it to Facebook. That way I can get the content out there that I've been trying to get out there for the last few days, and for y'all to get this information and kind of digest it, and then kind of make some decisions on what you want to do to minimize your taxes. So I'm just going to jump right on into it. So today we're talking about how to minimize your taxes on your job legally. So a lot of people do the illegal method, which is basically going to your W-4 and changing it to 6 for 6 months, 9 months, or whatever, and then changing it back, hoping that Uncle Sam will take enough money out of your check so at the end of the year you don't wind up owing. So doing it that way is illegal, because whenever you change a government document, you need to have a valid reason for doing so. So I'll give you an example of a valid reason. So, not that this is the case, but this is just my example. I have 3 kids. This year, me and my wife are having another child. The child is born. Right now, I'm claiming 4. And then when I have a new child, I go to my job, go get the W-4 form, and I change it to 5. Well, that's a valid reason, because I added another exemption to my pay because I had a new baby. That's a valid reason. Opening up a business is a valid reason. There are some things you can do with minimizing your taxes when you open up a home-based business that will allow you to increase the amount of exemptions you're getting at work, so you can bring more of your take-home pay to not only affect your lifestyle, but to help you in growing your business. So those are some valid ways to do it without getting into the illegal stuff that will eventually, if you get caught, the IRS will pretty much lock your W-4 form or W-2 form at a certain place to where you can't change it. So person X did it for 6 months, and they've done this year over year. Well, finally they happen to get audited by the IRS, and I'm just making this up. They happen to get audited by the IRS. The IRS noticed that they've been making these changes without any real valid reason, no documentation to back it up. So the IRS says, you know what, we're not going to play games. We're going to lock your W-2. We know it's only you, so you're not going to be able to change it. So even if you were to go to your employer and fill out the form, the employer would try to change it, and then the IRS would say there's a lock on this person's. It's supposed to stay at 1. I'm going to say, just for an example, 1 single, and that's it. So doing it illegally, you can kind of get yourself into a bind to where you can't change it at all. And how long that lasts, I'm not actually sure. I'm not sure if it's for that year that you got caught or if it's forever. The penalties will vary depending on, you know, the strength of, you know, how much they fine. You know, this person's been doing this for 6 years. They may say, we're going to lock their stuff for 10 years and there's nothing you could do about it. Probably. But the ways to do it legally are through children, marriages, divorces, all that good stuff. And another way to do it is through opening a home-based business, which is the one I'm going to really be talking about today. So when you open a home-based business, it allows you certain exemptions if you are working a job. You can adjust your form to reflect that you have a home-based business because you have documentation backing up that you have a home-based business, as well as business expenditures and all the other stuff that goes along with opening up a business. And then you can change your form so that you can get more income from your job to fund your business and fund your lifestyle and all the other stuff that you need to get done. If you would like more information on how that works, just send me a message. Put a comment in the chat box. Say inbox me more information. I'll send you a link to a video that will basically explain it in further detail. And if you like what you see, then you inbox me again, say, hey, I would like more information, and then we'll get together, or we'll inbox each other, and then we'll get each other's contact info, and then I'll just call you, and then we can discuss how what I do can help you. And that's pretty much it. So just remember, just because you go and change your form with no reason, that is illegal. And I don't think many people want to be in trouble with the government, because once they start doing stuff to you, there's not a whole lot of lawyers and whatnot can do to you, because the laws are the laws and they're written by the government. So you're putting yourself and your family in jeopardy when you're doing things like that. Find out a way to do it the right way. That's what I would suggest. That way, whenever somebody comes at you, IRS or whoever, you have documentation to back up the reason why you changed your W-4 at work and have your exemptions at whatever level they are. It's all about educating yourself on how the systems work, how the tax codes work, in order to benefit from them. Don't be scared. I know a lot of people are constantly saying, I don't want to owe, I don't want to owe, I don't want to owe no money. The reality is, if you work a job, you already owe. It's just how you pay them is the difference between one person and another. So why do I say you already owe? When you make $50,000 a year, there's a certain amount of taxes you got to pay anyway, right? You can't get away from it, or can you? That's a question. So think about that. You already owe, right? So if you make $50,000 and the IRS says 25 to 30% of your pay is mine as the government, before you get your first paycheck, you already owe, right? So the money that the employer sends to the government is just a payment on what you already owe. So you already owe the government, right? Because, like, let's say on a $50,000 a year job, taxes are normally right around 18 to 25%, which, let's say, is about $18,000 in taxes. So unless you, as an individual, say, I'm going to pay the government $18,000 up front, or go 3-4 months out of the year without taking any money, and then let's say January, February, March, April, after April all the money is yours, then you a G if you can live like that. But like most of us, we keep our taxes at whatever level. We paying the government a little bit at a time, and You think, oh, I'm paying my taxes, but you owe $18,000 because by the government tax code, a W-2, which is a tax code, owes 25 or 18 to 25% of their gross income in taxes. So you already owe. This is just, people just misunderstand what owing is. So here's something that will really, flip your noggin. I want to owe. Think about that for a second. Like, I want to owe money. Why? Well, if I owe money to the government, that means that they didn't take more than they needed to, right? So I pay my taxes just like everybody else does. And at the end of the year, I want to owe anywhere from $500 to $800. Why? Because that means I haven't paid the government 1 red cent over what I was supposed to. I don't want a refund back. I would rather pay them saying, oh, okay, you owe us $500. That means I didn't give them a dime over what I was supposed to. And all of my money that was going to the government previously, now I have going to work for me instead of the government. So, refund. What is refund? Refund is the two-word word. If you look it up in the Greek dictionary, meaning again, fund meaning money, your money again. That's all a refund is. So they're taking your money that you're overpaying, they're holding it, the government is. They're making interest off your money. And then when you file your taxes to get your return, they're giving you principal only. That is like me asking you for $5,000 for a whole year and not giving you any type of extra money when I pay it back to you. Like, who normally would do that? Like, normally when somebody loans you some money, nowadays people are really getting crazy with it. I'll take, for me loaning you the money, I need 1% or 2% or something. But think about this. You're letting the government hold your money for a whole year. And then all they're doing is giving, let's say you get a refund of $3,000. You're letting the government hold $3,000 for a whole year that they put in the bank and earn interest on it. And then at the end of the year, when you file your taxes, they give you $3,000 back. And then, but if I asked you to borrow the same $3,000 for a whole year, you would be like, well, you locking up my money for a whole year. I should make something. You would say that to the individual, but you won't say that to the government. You see where I'm going here? Like, they're making money off of your money just sitting in a bank in an account somewhere with the government, and then are paying you principal back when you get it. That's why you want to minimize your taxes, because taxes are, without a shadow of a doubt, the number one expense every person has. Taxes cost you the most. So why not pay as little as you can? All right, this is Dion Mitchell. This is OTCU Financial Solutions coming at you live today on a recording because Facebook wouldn't let me go live. And if you got any questions, hit me up in my inbox. We'll talk, chat back and forth, and then eventually I'm going to want to talk to you on the phone, at which point I'll give you my number. We can chop it up, and I can show you how the system I am in will help you minimize your taxes on your job. All right, everybody, take it easy. I'll see y'all next week. Peace.